asankeya kalyana gunaganasya tasya parama purushasya atra anubhavah bhaktihi tatavida nitya vaikunte bhagavat anubhavah nishreyasam. Nishreyasam is moksha iti sarvam samanjasam. So this hope I have done justice in the time allotted, though I have taken a few minutes, extended a few minutes. With apologies, I conclude. Thank you all for the patient listening. Srimati Ramanuja.
Samanvaya, the methodology and the philosophy of Sri Ramanuja, although we should not stop any scholar, but we have to respect time also. Now the paper is in front of you. Please ask your questions, and very precise and related to this topic only. Thank you.
And after Vishishtadvaita came Dvaita.
No, it's not so. These are all anadi sampradayas. These darshanas have been existing. Even in fact, Ramanuja Vishishtadvaita itself, it was coined the name Vishishtadvaita subsequently by Shruta Prakashika Bhatta. So actually it is never used. Shariraka Mimamsa Bhashye is what Ramanuja quotes in his Sri Bhashya. Nowhere has he used Vishishtadvaita. These philosophies were existing from Anadikala. Yeah. It was just refined and re-established. Even Dvaita, for that matter, or Sankhya, all these were. Dvaita doesn't mean it was only by Ananda Tirtha. He again re-established Dvaita.
Why I'm saying this is because in the Sri Bhashya, Swami Ramanuja refers to different authors before him, Tanga, Dravida, Guhadeva, and all of them. Whereas we are not able to see those kind of references either in Shankara Bhashya or in Madhvacharya's Bhashya. So that's why I thought
these passages, the Veda Vakyas, are there eternally.
Yeah, Vakyas are there eternally.
Vakyas are there. I'm calling it as Dvaitins because I belong to this age, you belong to this age, so I can as well refer this to as Dvaita Bhashya. So Dvaita came during the days of, was re-established in Kali Yuga during the days of Ananda Tirtha, Madhvacharya.
Yeah, but is there any reference in Dvaita Bhashya to any previous authors? Or
I'm not too sure. I'm not fully gone through the Dvaita Bhashya, but I have gone through a Bhashya called Sudha, which is from Raghavendra Swami. It's again a Brahma Sutra Bhashya, which came subsequently 350 years ago, which is totally a Kandana to the Ramanuja Bhashya. So it keeps happening, it keeps coming.
Not equal to Gada, but after Gada is combined with God, it will also become mud. So we can say Andal, see, so the way how to mingle with Paramatma. Then that is the...
That avastha can return again.
What is the reason, what is the difference between this?
Between what?
Andal so the way, and see we merge with so Paramatma. So then they both become one is, both are different.
Here Mritpindaha transforms into a pot. So there is two ways of defining this. It becomes a pot. I told you about the water being carried. So what happens? You consider it becomes more like a pot. The gaunartha and the literal meaning both has to be taken. So if you take identicalness or I have distinction, both can be conveyed with the same example. But only thing is you have to apply Shariratma Bhava when you take identicalness. That is how Ramanuja establishes. Without Shariratma Bhava, that is what the Gataka Shrutis are talking about. So he mentioned Gataka Shrutis as the source of knowledge, Yeah, thank you so much.
Now I would like to invite Professor Godavrish Mishraji, who will speak who is the chairman of School of Philosophy and Religious at the University of Madras, formerly worked as an editor of the Kuppuswamy Shastri Research Institute, Mylapore, Chennai. He also served as member secretary of Indian Council of Philosophical Research, New Delhi. His publications include Anubhuti Prakash of Vidyaranya Swami in 1992 and Vishishtadvaita in Dialectics and Philosophy from Bhagavat Ramanuja to Ramanujacharya. Professor Mishraji.
Tavamruta Shandini Pada Pankaje Niveshitatma Kathamanyadicchati Sthite Ravinde Makaranda Nirbhare Madhubrato Nechurakam hi vikshate. With this prayer from Yamuna, I would like to present for next 30 minutes a history of 1000 years. And my paper is historical, it's not philosophical, because just I wanted to, what I have done is try to see the tradition in my own prism. What has been happening in all these years? Friends, as I mentioned in my welcome speech, I hold the view that there is a continuity from Upanishads till date in some way in India as far as the tradition of philosophizing is concerned. I would like to put forth before you a question which needs to be researched, and that is, I would like to ask myself and as well as you, whether Shankara was reacting to Buddha or reacting to the post-Gautama Buddhists, number one. Number two, whether Ramanuja was reacting to and refuting the views of Shankara or post-Shankara Advaitins. This is very something which we need to look into, because many places we can find Ramanuja and Shankara go hand in hand. And many theories, philosophizing, we find Buddha and Shankara have the same view. So, this is what needs to be looked into, and in saying so, I would like to say that there is an unseen continuity, though at the a deeper level continuity, though in the surface level there is a visible difference of opinion. As I want to present before you, definitely after Shankara, it is Bhagavat Ramanuja, who was the most celebrated personality in Indian schools of philosophy. I would say that following the footsteps of Shankara and with a view to offer fresh and different interpretation of the Prasthanatraya, Ramanuja authored Navaratnas, 9 verses, and his magnum opus being Sri Bhashya, which was modeled on earlier Bhashyas and was aimed at the refutation of the philosophical claims made in the Brahma Sutra Bhashya of Shankara. I would like to say, just now somebody asked a question whether Shankara refers to other preceptors of Vedanta. He does. In many places he does. Even Vedavyasa himself does. Sutakara does. So he continues that parampara, and Shankara is very particular about this sampradaya concept, which Ramanuja takes from him. The sampradaya, he says, asampradaya with bahushastra vidopi trunavat upekshaniyaha. A person who does not know the tradition, he need not be taken seriously. So, in addition to what Shankara did in working out the Prasthanatraya as an Acharya, what Ramanuja does is to establish the institutions in his own way for the people to have interaction with the temples, shrines, matas and the like. Many things he has done. I would just come back to those things in due course of my presentation. Next one. So, and we have already seen, Dr. Narasimhan has told, Ramanuja refers to all these people, Bodhayana, Tanka, Dramida, Guhadeva, Kapardi, Bharuchi, and also his teacher, Yadava Prakasa, whose works have been quoted in Vedartha Sangraha and Sri Bhashya. This Dravidacharya is a very, the peculiar scholar who is being taken, pardon, Professor? Who is being quoted by Shankara as well as Ramanuja. There is a vast gamut of post-Ramanuja Vishishtadvaitins who took forward the works commenced by Sri Ramanuja with Vishnu-centric philosophy, that is Vishishtadvaita. The major contributors to this tradition are Sudarsana Suri, Atreya Ramanuja, Pillai Lokacharya, Vedanta Deshika, Ranga Ramanuja, Srinivasa Dasa. I will come to these people in due course of my presentation. Yadava Prakasa, as you know, the very basic why Ramanuja was prompted to write a bhashya that would not be simple Veda is because of his difference of opinion with Yadava Prakasa. A Vedavadin was of the view that Brahman, Jiva and Jagat are all real and yet they are identical with and different from each other. He also held the view that Brahman transforms into world Brahma Parinamavada and yet can remain perfect and pure. Ramanuja had difficulty in accepting this view. He drew inspiration from Yamuna and designed the system based on Shruti and Agamas. In Vishishtadvaita, Brahman is the same as personal God and the Jiva and Jagat are both real. The relation between God and man is that of body and soul. Yesterday I was asking a question to Professor Ramprasad Chakravarti whether there is an ontological difference in these three things that has been presented in Sri Bhashya. Vidheyatva, Adheyatva and Sheshitva. I would view that there is one. Like you may differ from me, but I have this view, I hold this view. The relation between God and man is that of body and soul, Dehatma Bhava. The body may undergo transformation, but the soul remains the same without undergoing any change whatsoever. Now, the entire literature of Vishishtadvaita, next one please. The entire literature of Vishishtadvaita can be divided into three types on the basis of the source material that have provided inspiration for the school to develop its philosophical edifice. That is Vedic, Agamic and Prabandhik, or Shruti Parampara, Agama Parampara and Ubhaya Vedanta Parampara. So thus, in the post-Ramanuja period, next one, the Agamic tradition of Pancharatra that was treated by Shankara as a non-Vedic became the source book for Sri Vaishnava practice and philosophy. While commenting on the sutra, Viprati Sedhacha, yesterday somebody was referring to it, Shankara says, Veda Viprati Sedhacha Bhavati, Chatursu Vedesu Param Sreyo Alabdhva, Sandilyo Idam Shastram Adhigatam iti Veda Ninda Darsanat. This is what Shankara says. He doesn't accept Pancharatra. Ramanuja corroborates the teaching of the Upanishads with that of Divya Prabandham of the Alvars in vernacular Tamil by drawing ideas which gave rise to the tradition of Ubhaya Vedanta in Sri Vaishnavism. However, the target audience of Ramanuja is the whole country, and hence, like Shankara, I think he avoided writing anything in Tamil. He wanted to reach out to everybody in the country, and therefore he didn't write anything in Tamil. And the next is, in the 1,000 years of history, starting from Ramanuja till today, Vishishtadvaita has carved a niche for itself as an indispensable school of thought by withstanding the reputation of other schools, mainly Advaita and Dvaita. Many people have discussed about it. I am not going into the details how the debates have happened. Recently my book, Vedanta Without Maya, deals elaborately with this particular idea, and we had many here have participated in that seminar, and we have seen how Ramanuja and Shankara tradition and Ramanuja tradition are trying to talk to each other on a particular concept of Maya and Avidya. So in this millennial journey, 2 points deserve consideration. One, philosophy in practice and predilection, and dialectics refuting the views of other schools to establish the views of Bhagavat Ramanuja. The post-Ramanuja period has witnessed a large number of compositions, both philosophical and dialectic. I am grateful to Dr. Vedavalli Narayanan for giving me this idea which I am speaking now. Dr. S.M.S. Chari, the well-known scholar of Vishishtadvaita, divides the period into 3 stages. The first one extending to 2 centuries after Ramanuja till the time of Vedanta Deshika and his senior contemporary Pillai Lokacharya. The second one covers their life period, and the third one to post-Deshika for another 600 years. To this, we may add a fourth one extending up to the present day. During the first stage, a few successors of Ramanuja, especially his disciples, wrote glossaries on Ramanuja's works. Sri Bhashya has elicited many commentaries. Much of the post-Ramanuja works were of the nature of commentaries in the Manipravala, which is Tamil interspersed with Sanskrit words and phrases. Many of them were commentaries on the works of Ramanuja and Yamuna. Some were also commentaries on the hymns of Alvars. Based on the above, there were some treatises too, Sruta Prakashika by Sudarsana Surya, an elaborate, unmatched and scholarly commentary on the Srivacharya. I would like to say, friends, that in Ramanuja tradition, one thing that is happening, because it is one good thing that is happening here, is people still remember to their genealogy and the acharyas they belong to. Some people still remember their lineage to some particular acharya in that field, like Professor Venkatakrishnan comes from some Asuri, right? Who is that? Like that parampara you come from? Anandalva. Same is, there are many people who have such type of, like the memory is still afresh in many people, which is one of the advantage of this particular system, and that needs to be looked into seriously for the future researchers. And the next is Manavala Mamuni and Vedanta Deshika, and I don't want to speak more about it because I have a very long presentation. The two most important preceptors during the post-Ramanuja period, their life stories were shrouded with myths, and followers have created a distance between the above two and nurtured them jealously. That is another very, that should not have happened, but that has happened. Many history writers have written how Vedanta Deshika was tortured in Srirangam. Some people say Pillai Lokacharya was, so Manavala Mahamuni was also, they have created a distance between each other, and I would like to say their life stories, there are many attempts to bring in a synthesis. In the recent literature, many people have written that how there is a synthesis between Advaita and Vishishtadvaita. By having Belakudi Varadarajacharya Swami, always he said Advaita is a Vishishtadvaita is an Advaita essentially. So there are many attempts to bring in a synthesis since Ramanuja stood for this Samana. I have done some work on this. I am not able to present those things because of paucity of time. In spite of that, exclusivism continues with its merits and demerits. I don't want to talk more about it, but that is what is the scenario. Synthesis also continues, bringing all of